can't keep doing this, bro. LA Knight in the WWE, something is completely off. It's even worse than the Karrion Kross situation. And I've made this video before where I talk about, you click this video, either you like LA Knight or you hate LA Knight. You want to figure out why I like LA Knight so much and why should we care so much how he's being treated. Well, everybody, welcome to Sancho West Wrestling. My name is Sancho West, and this is a channel where we talk about all things wrestling. And I've made these videos before, like I mentioned, and this is going to be off the cuff. You know, there's not going to be any notes. There's not going to be any kind of cute little bow. It's just very, very frustrating to be an LA Knight fan right now. The reason why I've been frustrated because LA Knight has always been the second to the top. He's always been the one that gets you to the destination and then you just leave the car behind and walk the rest of the way without LA Knight. It's a very inconvenient thing to do to the build or the story that you're doing, but you do it because you just don't want to show up in the LA Knight car. That's what's happening. It feels like the WWE is embarrassed to have LA Knight as the top of the company, to have LA Knight represent them in interviews and things of that sort as their world champion. This, and more than ever, is the perfect time to have made LA Knight a champion. We are in limbo. We're in a place that we have lost Seth Rollins to injury, and why did we need to sacrifice CM Punk being a champion, sacrifice the good story between Seth Rollins and CM Punk, the saga of Seth Rollins saying, as long as I live and breathe, you will never be world champion, to have CM Punk earn the world championship against Jey Uso for a vacant title. It is amazing to me that the WWE, who has walked so much with this journey, who has baby stepped their way down the line with Seth Rollins and CM Punk, to throw it away in this opportunity where we are in limbo. We're in a purgatory state where we are on standby waiting for WrestleMania season to come around the corner, and we still have Survivor Series. And this would have been perfect. This would have been perfect for LA Knight to held on to the world title just for 2 to 3 months. Okay? That's all I'm asking. There's a lot of people out there be like, well, that would mean that he's just a transitional champion. Yeah, that would be a lot better than where he is now. You want to tell you the current state of LA Knight? LA Knight is the current state of he is all talk, all bark, and no walk. But it's not because he cannot do the walk. He's not being told to walk. He's being told to stand down. He's being told to go away, to get off of television. Now, I know I may be speaking out of turn, and I know that the dude could just show up for Survivor Series and help out CM Punk. I know they're going to have the will they, won't they type of situation in the cage in the War Games. I know CM Punk and LA Knight will have a big angle going into that match, and going to maybe out of that match, he may get that world title shot. The point I wanted to make is it's about LA Knight being treated like a main eventer and being respected as someone, as a valuable commodity going forward, investing into LA Knight, which they've invested in so much, and trying to put the machine behind him for once. If you listen to countless interviews with LA Knight, the dude just wants the ball. And it's not his fault that the ball is not given to him. He hasn't really fumbled anything. He did a solid United States title run. He dropped the belt to Jacob Fatu in a great match at Mania. He gave Logan Paul one of his best rounded matches. And he had some great little vignettes and promos and messing around with Logan Paul. He had a great home invasion angle with AJ Styles, but a decent match with AJ Styles in a feud. Snapped it to a Slim Jim, showed up in a Slim Jim. Like, this dude is the face of Slim Jim, and yet he doesn't get any time in last week's Monday Night Raw. I admit, I took a couple of days to make this video because I wanted to see where everything was going to land. Once all the sand has shifted through, what kind of gold, what kind of rubles were we going to get out of this entire situation? And there is still nothing. There is no silver lining. There is no cloud. There is no light about this darkness here. It is just a frustrating time as an LA Knight fan to be able to continue to believe in the character of LA Knight. If this is your first time here, I'm speaking all kayfabe, okay? I know that there's certain different roles. I understand that the WWE has different resources, different metrics, and different ways to measure a wrestler's contribution to the overall product. I know that the machine has a way, a method, a want, a desire to put certain people rocket up to the moon and things of that sort. We've all seen it with Jey Uso. I understand not everybody could be main event. I understand that everybody has to get a piece of the pie. And I understand that one person's moment in the sun is going to be another person's moment in the darkness. But we cannot argue that the WWE does not see the same value that a lot of WWE fans do in LA Knight. I fell enamored with LA Knight because of his overall journey to get to where he was. And when I saw LA Knight go up against Bray Wyatt in San Antonio in the Royal Rumble, I was like, wait a minute, there's something interesting with this LA Knight character, because LA Knight, who's been giving scraps in terms of what to be able to do in this weird Mountain Dew blackout match, was able to make an entertaining match work and work with Bray Wyatt, for crying out loud. It's unfortunate, of course, that LA Knight saga couldn't continue with the Wyatts, and he did the most respectful thing that you can think and drop one of the most banger promos in a long time in tribute to Bray Wyatt, when he looked right in the camera and said, like when a great man once told me, run. Like, he said something like that, but damn, when he hit that run, it sent chills up and down my spine. The dude speaks for mental health and speaks for therapy and speaks for men's advocacy and all these kinds of great things. So what am I missing? Where's the missing pie? This dude a couple of years ago, or a year ago, dare I say, had the most winningest record, if you care about that sort of thing. He, no doubt, I don't know his merch sales, but they're up there. I mean, I'm wearing the t-shirt. I bought his silly glasses. You know, these things are things that should matter to the WWE. The win rate shouldn't matter to the fan, but for some reason, there is a disconnect between the LA Knight that he says that he's going to be and the LA Knight that he's allowed to be by the WWE. How many times have we listened to a WWE promo from LA Knight talking about, I'm the line, I'm next in line, no matter what, who wins between you, I'm going to be the one that goes for that title. You all could do all this and that, but at the end of the day, it's LA Knight. Yeah, right? Sounds familiar. The problem is there's no payoff. LA Knight just believes that he's going to be the best, and it seems as though no one believes that he is the best, except us, the WWE fans that just admire for what he does. There's often criticism that he is going to be the mixture of the Attitude Era's Rock and Stone Cold. I get it. There's mixtures that he doesn't do anything unique and different. The dude is solid in the ring. He's a solid ring general, and he calls a match very well. If you listen to his matches, they have some good ebb and flows. They have a very basic old school heel gets a beat up on LA Knight, the face comes back, the heel cuts it off, and it ends in a very nice ending way when there's no shenanigans booked around it. Hell, look at LA Knight in his previous triple threats and fatal four-way performances, even at Crown Jewel with Roman Reigns. He has moments where he's about to win, and then all of a sudden it gets the rug pulls underneath him. Same thing with AJ Styles at Chamber, coming in and interfering and stopping LA Knight from winning. There's so many rug pulled moments for LA Knight, and it gets super duper frustrating that every single time this dude gets to the mountaintop, it pulls away from him all the time. And then when he gets it pulled from him, they don't allow him to stand back up. They just reset the dude. They don't do anything to follow up. This dude's pinned Seth Rollins, and he's just begging for an opportunity to get a shot at any kind of title in a single type of way. But no, he has to go through the gauntlet all over again, as if he's not the number one contender, as if not, he wasn't the guy that feuded with the Vision. And this is where my entire seed of this video stems from. If you want to know, like, what inspired this Sancho, it's simple. CM Punk cut a promo listing everybody in the roster that he would like to see as a contender for the heavyweight title. AJ Styles, JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Sheamus, John Cena. And the one guy that's literally sitting right there, the guy he's been feuding with for months, LA Knight, not even mentioned. And not even in a dismissive way to show that the feud is still brewing, that it's still cooking. Not even like, yeah, not even that LA Knight guy could be on my level. That's simple. Instead, it's omitted. Like, woo, there's a problem here. Or maybe LA Knight will come back and save the day at the end of the day. When Logan screws over CM Punk, maybe LA Knight's music will hit. The Stone Cold spot. Yeah, when you hear the LA Knight, yeah, that would be awesome. It doesn't happen. Now, I know you look at the dirt sheets. I know you look at the curtain. You reveal the curtain. You go, well, if you really put the pieces together, Sancho, LA Knight had a little birthday celebration. Maybe he was celebrating his birthday. But that doesn't excuse CM Punk from not mentioning him and not giving him the same reverence and not putting him over as saying he's one of the badasses in the locker room. These are the things that concern me the most. These are the red flags that concern me the most. And like I mentioned before in the beginning of this video, or maybe in one of my slip-ups, but they could erase everything and put LA Knight in prime position. They could give him a match against CM Punk down the line at a future Saturday Night's Main Event. But what I'm trying to say is that when are they going to actually pull the trigger on LA Knight? And they just missed probably the only opportunity to do so. When he got transferred to the Monday Night Raw, I was excited. I was like, finally, this dude has an opportunity and a path at a world title. He was withering away on the Smackdown roster, unable to compete for the undisputed title. Every time he got the United States, or every time he got close to undisputed, no matter if he used the United States title, no matter if he just won the #1 contender, he would immediately get shoved down to the mid card, no matter how much. Every time he was being main evented on SmackDown, a bigger superstar would show up and boom, he gets knocked down in the middle of the first hour. So many of that situation was happening on SmackDown and it just kept getting worse and worse considering that there was zero time for a 2-hour show. Transfers over to Monday Night Raw. The 30 minutes is a world of wonder for any kind of wrestler to have additional. Transfers over to Monday Night Raw. Immediately starts feuding with Seth Rollins. Hell yeah. Bypasses the Intercontinental title, goes immediately to the world title. I'm all in, and I'm thinking, oh, he's going to feud with Gunther. He's going to have some more big-time feuds with other big guys in the main event scene. And no, he gets stuck with just serving and the vortex and just providing, just being the grease for the vision for it seems to be Roman, Jay, Jimmy, and CM Punk. These are the frustrations that we have with LA Knight's booking. How long can this man be greased, brother, before we just let him slip out of our hands and he goes away to another promotion? And this is going back to my point that I just made, that this was right here the perfect time to do it. If you would have beat CM Punk by hook and crook or by his sly way that they have already introduced, that LA Knight is willing to toe the line to get the dub. If he pins CM Punk in some way and he gets the win, goes, ha ha ha, I beat you, Punk. He could have a 2-month reign and it would do a world of wonders for LA Knight. It would be the most significant thing to do for LA Knight, just to have him in the conversation, just to have him wearing that title for one type of render. That's all we literally wanted. Just to see him come out and be, you deserve it, cut a promo like, oh, you think I deserve it? Hell, I earned it. Yeah, like that's the kind of thing that we could have had. And we couldn't see what happens in the 2 months, because it would have gone beyond SummerSlam, because SummerSlam would have not had a title match considering War Games is involved. Would have been gone beyond SummerSlam, and then he could have dropped it in a future date at a future PLE or after the new year or day one on Netflix. I don't care, right? That would have had that opportunity just to see, just to experiment. Is it just because it's the holiday season and it hurts the bottom line that we don't have a big main eventer like CM Punk or Cody Rhodes running around being the head of the table, so to speak? Don't you even remember when LA Knight interrupted Roman Reigns and he put himself and he sat at the head of the table? Wasn't that a baller moment? Because they gave him the opportunities to see what he can do. And instead of capitalizing on those opportunities, he was fed to the bloodline and got spit out. These are just the flow of thoughts that I have as an LA Knight fan. The close moments, you could argue the Blue Jay type of moments where you were this close to winning it all. That's how close LA Knight was to get the trigger pulled for him. And we had those moments where he was at Money in the Bank and it gets pulled away from him. I think this dude has been 5 hope spots in Money in the Bank. And then now you get to the moment where he is so close to being a champion and gets pulled away from him constantly over and over again. The dude had 2 opportunities to be the #1 contender, had an opportunity to be at the vacated championship match at Saturday Night's Main Event, and he loses to the same dude. Loses to both of them, if you want to really be technical. Loses to CM Punk and Jey Uso. I don't understand. I'm hoping that he's not being punished for holding up a sign. Holding up a sign that his fan made for him. And that he is saying, the people still care. I'm acknowledging you. I'm holding up a sign that says, we want LA Knight, not Jey Uso. Yes, it's going against the machine, but this dude right here that paid $800, the guy that you said that his voice matters, that person's voice matters, not my voice on the internet or not the hashtags on Twitter or all the videos or reactions. Those voices don't matter. The dude that spent $800 made that sign, carried that sign all throughout the parking lot into the arena, carried it with the snacks, carried it with his merch. Walked into that arena with a sign that says, "We want LA Knight, not Jey Uso." And for his wrestler, his guy, to see that sign and go, yes, I still matter. I still got some motion. I still got people rooting for me, and I could still hear the crowd. For him to go back into that locker room, back into the backstage, and to be taken off Monday Night Raw, not even a syllable uttered. There's literally just 3 of them, brother. LA Knight. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Got a lot of work to do, and I want to be wrong, okay? I want this video to age poorly like milk. Sub for more.